Hello and welcome to the Knights of Thanos. This is a much asked for video, especially by Stephen Doe, who's done 2 of these in the time I've said I was going to do 1. So I'm finally doing it. I'm going to have to apologise in advance. My room is a mess because I'm sorting through stuff ready for university, and it was in a mess to begin with. But that's really why I'm sorting through why I'm doing this video now, is because I'm going to have to sort through my comics, which ones I'm taking to university because I can't take more. So just before I start, I just want to show you these comics which are on here, which are that go around my room of my top 10 favorite superheroes. So of course Captain Marvel, then you've got Spider-Man, and just trying to line to come up, then you've got the Flash, Wally West, Superman, then down here you've got Wolverine, Captain America, Supergirl, the Doctor, Mr. Incredible, and Iron Fist. And then also my comic collection is my Phil Coulson display, which is Battle Scars #1, his first appearance, Agent Shield #1, and then Deadpool #31, which is the issue where he dies. And now, no further ado, let's get through the actual collection. Just need to know how I'm going to set that up. Yeah, it should be okay. So, this pile is what I've either haven't read or I'm rereading. I've read some of this, but not all of this. This is Uncanny X-Men. And also, before I start, I've read over 600 issues of Spider-Man. I own about 50. And I've read about 100, 200 issues of the X-Men. I own about 20 or 30. Because I either read read them online, borrowed them from the library, or borrowed them from family and friends. So I don't own actually most because I've probably have read but don't own just under the amount that's in my collection. Also, most of the DC, like Titans and stuff like that, I've read online. And Stargirl, thanks Stephen Doe once again for sending me the links to Stargirl online so that I could get to know the character. So this here and then down here is all where I keep all my Marvel stuff. So as I said, got Uncanny X-Men. I read these when I was when I was 10. So 9 years ago. I read these to Dan Abnett, Guardians of the Galaxy. I got them from the library, my local library, where I got quite a lot of stuff that I'm reading and which I'll be showing you in a bit. So Dan Abnett, Guardians of the Galaxy, can't go wrong with that. That's why when I say I was upset about the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, it's got how much I love that, and then the Bendis. Pardon my allergies gone. And then the Bendis one, and then here is the True Believers, which is the republished first appearance of Carol Danvers. I just wanted, because I'll never be able to get the actual one. I just wanted to have something in my collection to have that, and yeah. Oh, that also reminds me, the issues I've got on display are Captain Marvel, Carol Corps, which is Secret Wars #1, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, #27, The Flash, Rebirth #51, Action Comics 1000, The Jason Aaron Wolverine #1, Steve Rogers Captain America #1, Supergirl #1, Doctor Who #1, The Incredibles #1, and Iron Fist #1, which are the ones that are on display. And then I've read this, but I'm gonna reread it. Got a massive pile, but yeah, gonna reread this. Or I'm partway through rereading it, which is the first 10 issues of the Jack Kirby, Stan Lee Avengers, and then Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Yeah. There's nothing in there, and then here is a good pile of Exiles, which I've read some of them, but I'm rereading the ones I have, so I can read the ones that I haven't. So, Exiles. I think I've got about 50 of these Exiles, but I'm not sure, because I haven't been through to count all of them. Then I got some old comics like this Inhumans comic. And then personal favourite of mine, The Invaders. One of the first comics I ever got. The Invincible Iron Man #153, first appearance of the Living Laser. That really should be in a bag. Then we've got Kazar. And is that I don't think there's on the screen. Alpha Flight. New Mutants, which I've also read most of that online. Squadron Supreme. More Alpha Flight. Excalibur. I'm quite a big fan of Excalibur. British X-Men team. What more could you want? As a British X-Men fan, that is. Damage Control. Guns Galaxy comic. No, this isn't. It's the first I ever owned, but not the first I read, as I said. Or did I? I know. I think I got the Bendis run graphic novels first. I can't remember. But yeah. So 27, who was played by Ving Rhames. Next, who was that's volume 2. Major Victory didn't make an appearance, and then you've got Yondu, obviously, Michael Rooker. Punisher. Okay. I've got quite a few Punisher verses. Deathlock. Vengeance, and then Punisher issues. Warzone issues 12 to 16, which is a mini run. that I managed to get the complete story of, which is pretty good, as that cost me £2 for all those, which was pretty good. So wouldn't turn that. Most of these comics I got in a shop in a town where I sometimes live, and they're all 50p each, or you can get 12 for £5. So I go there quite a lot. Infinity Crusade, the Malibu comic XL series, Incredible Hulk, Warlock, Spider-Man. I absolutely love this. Fantastic. That's also something I've read online quite a lot. Is Fantastic Four as well. And then this is what I mean. This showdown, Punisher Showdown with Shield. One of my, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but that's sort of like all-time favorite comic book covers. Is this? Might put that in my Shield collection, to be honest. And then I've spoken about favourites as well. So anyway, of Kitty Pryde in that Excalibur. The next X-Factor comic with my man Havoc. I haven't read this, so I don't know what it's really about, but it's a Journey into Mystery featuring the Lost Gods. Got that. Spectacular Spider-Man Return of Norman Osborn. It's more modern Alpha Flight. In Humans. Another Deathlock. Captain Marvel. Black Panther. US Agent. More Punisher. Oh, I love this cover. This cover is absolutely amazing. Of King Thor. Weapon X Sauron, and Invisible Armor. Another Thor comic, and then here's Runaways. More Inhumans. Oh, Stephen Doe. I love this cover because it shows my man Namor putting Reed Richards in his place. Do you like that? Oh, and then got Warlock. This is going into more of my personal favourites, like more obscure favourites of mine. Like, I love Adam Warlock. Like, he's Space Jesus. What is there not to love? I'm seeing as Guns who probably won't happen anymore. I hope they find another way to introduce him. Another character who has to be introduced is Namor. My love of Namor's more pronounced. I still need to finish this though. I've got 2 issues of that run to finish. More Alpha Flight. Thunderbolts. Nighthawk. Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, and Luke Cage. So, yeah, I'm just sorting through all of these ready for uni. So that's what I'm doing this now. I'm just trying to talk while I just put these back. So yeah, as I was saying, Stephen Doe basically tagged me for this video, so I will be doing a tag at the end for someone who quite a lot of people would like to do a comic book collection video. So it's not gonna come as a surprise to most of my viewers who that is. I'll sort this out later probably. I just got, yeah, certain someone is going to be us. And I'm doing really well, thank you, Sentinel. And I think was that the Archivist? Yeah, you are right. Who the tag's gonna be? Once this video is up, I will be putting the links to Stephen Doe's and random Marvel fans videos. Sorry. Oh, I had mixed into my Exiles some of this name or series as well. I should also recommend these. They're 10 to 20 issues in, and they're really small, so really easy to take places. So yeah. Now, I said this was all Marvel. I forgot that. This part here, if you can say it, is all Image. So I've got the A to Z or Z, however you want to say it, of the Invincible Handbook. Yeah. I've got the first 50 issues of Invincible in the compendium. I will be getting the next compendium once I finish this. But it's absolutely brilliant. Everything you've heard about it is true. One of my favourite characters in it is Alan the Alien, so I got this, which is basically just a solo story of Alan the Alien. And then I've got the Walking Dead's first 10 volumes. Here. Yeah, this is Nerd's Paradise. First 10 volumes of The Walking Dead. And then I've got a cup. Oh, this is the cup that got Johnny Eccleston triggered, if you're wondering. Squash ball. Then I've got this is all Ultimates. I don't like the Ultimates universe that much, so I don't have that much stuff. Oh no, this is like Ultimates plus alternate universe stuff. So I picked this up, which is a newspaper. It's like proper full of stuff, but it's a tie-in for the House of M, and it's technically the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel, because it has her on the newspaper as Captain Marvel years before she was Captain Marvel in the comics. It's technically one of the first appearances of Captain Marvel. So in here I've got the Punisher 2099. The only reason I got this was it was 8 September, which my birthday is September, and 2099. I was born in 1999, so it's 100. If I get to 100, it'll be that. And then I've got some of Ultimate Vision, which was good from what I remember, got some Ultimate Spider-Man, and then some Ultimates, which I'll be getting onto. Ultimate Fantastic Four, Ultimate Power, Ultimate X-Men. I know some people aren't a fan, but that's pretty much the only thing the Ultimates I actually like is the Ultimate X-Men. I really like what it did, how it Kitty Pryde wouldn't have the prominence she does in 616 if it wasn't for Ultimate, so I do appreciate it for that. And I'm not the biggest fan of Ultimate Spider-Man, which is quite controversial, but yeah. But these are tie-ins to MCU movies, so the Avengers, which is really good because it adds far more context to the films, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Prelude and Prelude to Captain America: Winter Soldier. And yes, I will be getting the Captain Marvel one, which comes out in November, I believe. And yes, Avengers' lives do matter. Yeah, I have read Invincible Iron Man Archivist, which I will be getting onto in a minute. And then quite a few Ultimates. And my brother's got the other volume of the Ultimates in his room. Oh, and then I've got Marvel Mangaverse #1. Oh, Archivist, congratulations for your dating life. Bit more eventful than mine, to be honest. So that's everything on that row, and that took a lot longer than I anticipated. Yeah, it technically is the Marvel Hentaiverse or something like that. I'll show you. For some reason, Tony Stark's a woman in it. Yeah, and then there's this. I don't know if Tony Stark got turned into a woman or if they've always been a woman, but yeah, that's Marvel Mangaverse. I haven't read it. I don't think it's my sort of thing. I just got it because I used to do Japanese. So I was like, oh, let's do that. Now we've got all of the Marvel now, from because like I said, I to read pile. Everything else now is in roughly chronological order, apart from books like these, which have from loads of different eras. But I put it in the chronological, where the first part comes. This is Ant-Man. As you know, I'm actually a massive Ant-Man fan, and I have been since the Avengers United We Stand TV series or whatever that was. I know people don't like it. I grew up with it. I've been a fan of it since then. And it's now a bigger franchise than Superman, which I found funny. Ant-Man. So, got Wolverine Weapon X. One of my favourite stories. This is where my collection gets weird. So this is X-Men Gold Annual #2, which came out last month. But because it's when Kitty Pryde's a little girl, chronologically I have to put it before everything else, even though everything else is set in the 60s. But this is smartphones and stuff in. But that's just how I have it. I have to have it in the characters' continuity, not in release order. It's just how I am. Yeah, both Superman and Ant-Man were white pizzas. Not that that's funny. So, this, yeah. New Mutants. Iron Man, the Invincible Iron Man, Demon in the Bottle. Brilliant story. X Factor. Havoc and Polaris. Woo! Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. And my pride and joy. Like I said, I got this for 40p. This is the first issue of the complete Infinity Gauntlet, and the first time the Infinity Stone. They first time referred to as the Infinity Stones, and the first time they're the individual colors. And I managed to pick. It's not in the best condition. I could probably only get £30 for this, but I would never dream of selling it because of how much I love Thanos, and especially after Infinity War. This is just means so much to me. So that's definitely coming with me. I'm not leaving that for my brother to get his hands on. And then some Excalibur. More Excalibur, that is. Doctor Strange. More X Factor. Is this? Oh no, is the other X Factor the one where Havoc gets sent into the parallel universe where there's Madeline Prime or the Dark X-Men and stuff? We got some Captain America. What this one is? Oh, the Avengers. This is Ultron Unlimited, one of my favourite stories, and I found out that the first issue of Ultron Unlimited was released on my birthday. I was born on Wednesday, so I was like, oh, what comics were released that day? And then Ultron Unlimited. Yeah, I found out last year. And this is one of my favourite stories. And yeah, it was released on my day I was born. So, yeah. Strange things happen like that. Spider-Man Coming Home. This is the run I've read all of. All 500 issues of this Amazing Spider-Man run I've read. Oh, Priest's Black Panther run. I constantly rave on this. Compensate for some of my love for Thanos. Yeah, my lack of bling. Oh, Captain America: The New Deal. I've written an essay on that. These aren't technically comics, but they have comics in them. The Spider-Man magazines, which is basically what started me out reading comics. I've got some Cyclops there. Some more Daredevil Man Without Fear. Alpha Flight. New Avengers, which is what I started out, the Avengers team I started out reading. Some Fantastic Four. I almost said Fanfortune. The first 2 issues with Danielle Cage when she was born. More Fantastic Four. More Fantastic Four. Doc Samson. Ms. Marvel. Carol Danvers, that is. And The Amazing Spider-Man tie-in with Civil War. Which may be the first appearance of the Iron Spider, but I am not going to say that because I'm not 100% sure. Now,
This is when it gets quite graphic novel-y, heavy.
The Immortal Iron Fist by Ed Brubaker and Matt Fraction.
Brilliant. The reason why he's one of my favourite Marvel characters is basically that run.
Even though I loved him before. And then Planet Hulk. Oh man, The Invincible Iron Man Extremis.
By Warren Ellis, Punisher legend.
World War Hulk. This is another one that came out recently, but I put further back because of when it is in continuity. This is when Marvel was still alive and Carol Danvers goes back in time, so I put it back to when he was last alive.
In comics. And then that's where the Dan Abnett comic, Guardians
of the Galaxy will fit in. And once I've read them, I'll put them in and move everything along. World War Hulk tie-ins. More Ms. Marvel. More World War Hulk tie-ins. I think this is the one when Meek dies. Not sure. More New Avengers, Secret Invasion. Thunderbolts. More Thor. J. Michael Straczynski, brilliant writer. Young Avengers.
I don't really like his TV work though, but I love his comic.
His Deadpool Secret Invasion tie-in. Like I said before, I only really like the 1990s Deadpool. I don't like the over edgy
modern interpretation of the character.
X-Men. Secret Warriors, which Agent Shield's based on.
Winter Soldier.
And this is getting into my all-time favourite Captain America run, is the Ed Brubaker. If you're going to read any Captain America, read Ed Brubaker.
Phenomenal writer. He's also one of the writers for Westworld.
So this is like 5 issues in. All these have 5 issues of different
Avengers, Iron Man, Cap, or all that, which is what I read when I was getting into it. And then
Captain America No Escape, which is carrying on after
Winter Soldier, and is what some of Civil War is based on, with the wolf spiders and that.
It's what some of the Civil War movies based on. 4. Got a bit of 4. Here.
I was not expecting it to take this long. It's going on longer than Stephen Dose.
More Captain America. Oh no, the one that some of Civil War the movie is based on. Avengers Fear itself. Captain America. And Battle Scars, which I've got the first issue of up there, which is the first appearance of Phil Coulson. And Avengers #1 there. And Avengers versus X-Men. There. Age of Ultron. Another one of the multi-comic ones. Guardians of the Galaxy Volumes 1 and 2. Of the Brian Michael Bendis run, that is. Avengers Volumes 1 and 2. Infinity Volumes 1 and 2.
There.
New Avengers Volume 3. Inhumans Genesis, which is what some of Agent Shield's based on. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and X-Men Volume 4. Another one of the Is Thanos the hero of Infinity War? Yes, because if you say the hero of the story is the character it focuses on, and their motivations are presented as the right thing throughout the whole movie, yes, because the Avengers are set up as the antagonist trying to stop the hero. And if you look at the structure of Infinity War, it's very similar to the structure of Logan or other anti-hero movies. So yes, I would say he's the hero of the movie because of how the film is made. And especially the ending, because the ending of Infinity War when he sat looking out at the sunset is very reminiscent of when a hero in Westerns would be injured and just sit and look out before they die. So I think the Russos wanted him to be presented sort of as a hero. So yeah, I do consider him the hero of the story. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume... What volume is this? Volume 4? Did I say last one's Volume 3? I think it's Volume 4. Captain Marvel Volume 1 and 2, which is really... If you've read Infinity, it's really good because it deals with the aftermath of that. And then I've got some Spider-Man. Did loads of different Spider-Man stories there. Yeah. Captain Marvel Volume 3. Is it Dan Slott? Yeah, Dan Slott, Spider-Man. Death of Wolverine, which I prefer to Old Man Logan. Oh, next one's another favourite of mine. Guardians of the Galaxy Original Sin. It resolves the gaps between the Dan Abnett Guardians of the Galaxy and the Brian Michael Bendis Guardians of the Galaxy really well. And Original Sin, which is the origins of Angela. Winter Soldier solo series. Avengers Rage of Ultron. Captain Marvel Volume 1 if you restart from there, or Volume 6 if you count all them. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Volume 1. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Volume... Oh, this is the relaunch. Volume 1. Star-Lord Volume 1. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 5. Civil War 2. Like I said, I've read Civil War 1, but I don't have Civil War 1. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Volume 5. And then these are all solo, not solo, single issues. So I'm just going to quickly whiz through these. Once again, this is recent, but in continuity. This is before some of the other stuff. So that's New Mutants 1 and 2. I will be picking the rest up. Thanos, number 1 by Jeff Lemire. Secret Empire. I've only got the first issue of Secret Empire, but I've read it. Secret Empire. I actually really liked it, but as my brother says, I only liked it because Carol single-handedly held off
Chitauri Invasion. Where Captain Marvel's issue 125 to 129, also known as Dark Origins. The what was it called? Marvel Legacy, when it had both Captain Marvels, is when I started collecting single issue Captain Marvels. Before that, I only got trades. So yeah, Captain Marvel, Infinity Countdown, Infinity Countdown Prime, and then I've got then in numbers 1 to 5, I've got 2 copies of number 3. I got this because I love Nova, another obscure character who I love. Not obscure, but like most people don't know him. And The Life of Captain Marvel numbers 1 and 2, waiting for number 3 next month. Really enjoying it. I did a review on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for that. Infinity Wars Prime, brilliant Loki cover. Marvel Spotlight, which I got with one of my Infinity Wars Prime, and then Infinity Wars 1 and 2. Once again, waiting for 3 on that. Really enjoying it so far. Even though the cover doesn't match up to how the characters look at the moment, but it's not a problem, is it? And now Old Man Logan, which I said I think is quite overrated. Now going through, starting on 2DC, going through these boxes of comics that I don't want to have like that, or up there. Next, I've got some comics there. So in here I've got Doomsday Clock issues 1 to 6, which is all that's come out so far. One of my all-time obviously not all-time, but one of my favourite modern stories. DC Nation, the Batman button, and Flash button, sorry. Supergirl comic, some Bronze Age Batman, some Green Lantern and Hellblazer, more Green Lantern and Titans Rebirth, and here is one of my prime, the first DC solo series of Blue Beetle by Len Wein. RIP. So that's it, and here is my absolute no one ever touches this, which is all my Star Wars comics. So Lando, Double or Nothing, number 1. Star Wars number 1. Star Wars number 7 mini version, which is limited edition or something like that. Shadows of the Empire, which is Boba Fett comic signed by Jeremy Bulloch, who played Boba Fett. And then Star Wars Shattered Empire. I've also read more Star Wars, just not. I don't own it. That's hurt my legs. That's this book by Grant Morrison on comics. Like I said, I enjoyed them on an academic level because I study politics and religion, so I like looking at it through that approach. Kick-Ass 1 and 2. The only proper manga I own, Death Note Volume 1, which is a gift from a friend. One of the first modern comics I remember reading is Superman and Batman vs Vampires and Werewolves. Yeah, give me that mess. Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, Watchmen. You can't have a collection without Watchmen. Then in here is a box of basically indie, so non-Marvel, non-DC, you know what I'm on about. The Doctor, 10th Doctor #1, which goes next to the Matt Smith one I showed you, and then makes a joint up cover. Riverdale one shot, which is in continuity to the TV show, which I've basically just stopped watching. I might get back around to watching it, but I don't know. Some Hellboy. Really looking forward to the Hellboy movie. Like I've meant, there was a running joke on the channel between me and my friends and my brother that I'd mention David Harbour every episode. Indiana Jones comic. One of my all-time favourite fictional characters. No secret, I love Han Solo. I love Indy. Some old Betty and Veronica's. Some Judge Dredd. I also have some Judge Dredd in massive trade form somewhere, and so if I can, I might quickly be able to find that. Got Star Trek comics, mostly next gen, but I do have some DS9 and original series. And then Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica, 2 different variants. Dredd, Mars Attacks meets Judge Dredd, and then Aliens, Predator, Deadliest of the Species, #1. Is that by Grant Morrison? No, Chris Claremont. Oh yeah, I've got more comics back there. Afterlife with Archie, Volume 1. Volume 6 of Invincible, which is in the compendium. Judge Dredd #1 until, doesn't say, 60, first 60 issues of Judge Dredd. The Heroes tie-in, and more Star Trek. Excuse me for a moment while I put these back. Just trying to get myself more comfortable because my legs are killing me from squatting the whole time. Let's get through. This is all DC, and then I'm done. So, Superman American Alien. Absolutely love that story. This is my brother's. So most of these are my brother's. So this is his version of the Winter Soldier. We got a double of that. These Batgirls are mine. Actually, no, not most. This is about 50-50 because this is mine, which is one of Jeff Johns' first big stories, I believe, which is Virtue and Vice. Apparently, what I've heard is it says it's by David S. Goyer, but he didn't do much, and it was mostly Jeff Johns, who, as you know, is one of my favourite comic writers. But yeah, absolutely love that story. Then Wonder Woman, which was they were selling them when I went to see Wonder Woman, so I got one of those because it wasn't too much. Young Justice, Volume 1. And then this is my brother's, which is DC Rebirth, Even though he hasn't read any of the actual Rebirth, but he's got that. Geography is back, yay! I'm almost done. So Flash Rebirth, not as in Rebirth, but the one before that, and then Flashpoint, which begins where that ends, and then the Flash, all of the new 52 there. So that's volume 1, 2, 3. No, that's volume 8. What's happening? Somebody's missing because he does. My brother does have all of them. Oh no, there they are. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's awesome. Then there's Green Arrow, New 52, Nightwing, Superman: Last Son of Krypton. One of my favourite stories coming up, Batman Hush. And then these Batman, League of Batman, which I actually liked. And that brings this almost hour-long video, which is the longest commentary video I've ever done, to an end. And as I said, I'm going to tag you, Jonathan Eccleston. So if you know how to contact him, get this to him whatever way you can, because he needs to do a video. Everyone's begging him for the video, like he begs people for. So just try and get him to do it. Thanks for watching. Remember, just subscribe somehow.